It's been a year unlike any other.
A year where you likely remember just where you were.
Just when the Memorial Day tornadoes hit. Just when you heard there'd been a mass shooting in the Oregon district.
When you knew the COVID-19 pandemic changed life as you knew it. When you saw our Miami Valley communities join the nation demanding change.
We know it's been a year unlike any other. These are just some of our neighbors' stories who lived it, survived it, and went on to tell how they are meeting the challenge, Dayton strong.
Man, I just remember just laying on the bed and it was just nice and sunny outside, and all of a sudden my satellite just kept going out.
And then we had the news on.
In your safe spot now.
And then you start to realize this is real. This is actually happening. This is a big impact.
The hail started hitting the house and it was about the size of golf balls.
It was sounding like an airplane, just so much noise and glass shattering on the floor. Like, it was just abundant of everything. Like, I heard one big boom. So my heart just started being like, what? I thought I just got windows taken out and stuff like that, and my fence and all the other stuff. But she was right. Then when I got up there and looked, it sure was gone.
People were resilient and very brave, and you see little kids who are going through this, and people were gathering around giving each other water and food and Gatorade and medical supplies.
It was very uplifting seeing how quickly our entire system came together to be able to help. There were food drives, there were resources where we were able to give them some assistance to be able to get supplies, to be able to get food, to be able to help them.
You were sort of just kind of scooping up and pushing out all of this social media information about how to help with the tornado relief.
We were really trying to help people with initially was just, how do I get my baby fed? How do I get a tree off my neighbor's house they're 86 years old and DP&L can't help them? So it was just trying to alleviate all those sort of micro pinpoints that people who are in officials, they're dealing with bigger issues.
People started donating. So there were other people who were setting up, and as they saw that we were still there, and because this is our home, this is our business, we're here. We're not just coming here to help, this is where we are. And so people started donating their extras so that we could pass out.
It was community effort. We was helping each other. It was every day cleaning. And I finally got ahead a little bit in August. Hello, my name is Dion Green. Was involved in the Memorial Day tornadoes and the Oregon mass shooting. And now I'm like, hey, y'all want to come up to Dayton, go to the Oregon district? I was out, I was having fun, I got my family around. I was enjoying the night. I haven't had a night of excitement in a while. So I'm like, hey, Dad, just stay in the car for a little bit. We're going to just go in here. He's like, nah, Dion, if you're going in, I'm going in. While standing in between the cars, waiting on my sister and her husband, I just see a tall, slender guy, and as he exits to the sidewalk, you just see him lift up a gun and shoot a couple times. Performing CPR and just screaming help and telling them to get up, like, come on, get up, you done been through way more stuff than this. Then I just start hugging them and just let them know I love you. But the reality kicked in when I seen them put the white sheet over my dad, and I broke loose again and just ran to him and just started crying and punching the concrete and just was having a whole out-of-body experience.
They have heard the worst news imaginable, which is that a family member or friend of theirs was lost in this horrific shooting.
I didn't know what really had gone on until the next day. And I think that's really when I had the emotional release, was the next day. Seeing those people walk and realizing I could be making that walk. That had a big impact on me. Because they were upstairs on the deck, across the street, and they heard everything, but they didn't really see it because he was covering them up. Called me and said, "Dad, there's been a shooting. I need you to come get me." And I said, "I'm on my way." It was probably the next day that you realize they're all safe, but then they could have really been in a bad spot. You know, and that's one of those things as a parent, you're just kind of like, wow, I mean, how lucky I am.
And when you go from a KKK demonstration to tornadoes, plural, to then, you know, a mass shooting in a span of a few months, in a span of a summer, and, you know, be surrounded by so many people who cared and who showed up, even who weren't even from Dayton.
When you look at the tower, I still remember looking out to the downtown area, and it was very somber, realizing that you could see exactly where this happened, and it's not very far away from us at all. It hit home in a totally different way. My name is Roberto Colon. I am the Associate Chief Medical Officer at Miami Valley Hospital and the Vice President for Quality and Safety for Premier. You see the tornado, you can see it, you can understand the brute force that comes with it. People understand a handgun or a rifle and the power and the potential for damage. If you've not lived in healthcare, you don't know what a virus can do. And many of us that live in healthcare had not really ever had to face anything like this. When we reflect back on how much our life has changed from this essentially invisible pathogen, it's scary that something that small can have such a big effect.
Well, first of all, I'm a teacher, so that was a big impact. You know, we're sitting there on a Thursday, and Friday's our last day with the students, which, you know, you're not ready for that, especially junior high kids. You don't realize how much you start to miss the kids, miss going in there every day, interacting with them, and then trying to teach them. It's tough for a kid to learn online. It's tough to teach online.
Everything was being canceled, so now I'm stuck in the house. It's raining every day, so I can't go outside and do yard stuff. So now I'm in the house having memories, looking at pictures. I was so angry that somebody sent me that video. When I watched the officer kneel on his neck, I knew when George took his last breath. But I remember watching my dad take his last breath. I think the answer to this is being open and vulnerable. Learn from each other. Open up. We're always going to have different opinions, but just be open and vulnerable to listen to each other and to unite.
It's going to be a conversation I have. I have had that with my students. We have a diverse student body in my school. I'm not going to be afraid of talking about it. I'm not going to shy away from it. We're going to confront it right away.
The whole world is tired of it. We just want what's right. And people that are doing wrong need to be held accountable for them situations.
And I oftentimes, when I drive down North Dixie to come to work on the back roads, I wonder where those people are and what they're doing and how they're getting by. Some places are just gone. So I consider ourselves very, very lucky and don't take anything for granted.
It's been a hard journey. So many people has been there to support and keep my spirits up. That was my healing process. It started from therapy. I was just writing my feelings down on paper. So I wrote a book called Untitled, Active God, Active Man, and it's basically just an open journal.
about the blessings and we think about how much we can do on a daily basis to give back, to help one another, you know, and that's got to be, you know, the biggest thing that shines through any tragedy, what we can do to help one another get through. And we can get through because we're Dayton strong.
It's the community, you know, that's our heart. We're the Gem City because of that. I would like to think that anywhere where something like this happened, people would come together, but I don't know if they would do it as effectively as Dayton did it.
But I think that there's sort of a tradition from the people who settled here, from people escaping slavery, from people escaping poverty in Appalachia. I mean, I feel like there's like a natural, cultural taking care of each other.
I've never seen a community that was so apt to focus on rebuilding and showing resilience and showing what couldn't be destroyed.
I like to bring the sense of pride in this community to my students and let them know how important it is to be from here. There's a lot of great people that have been from here.
When I say a roller coaster, it really was, because you hit the lowest of the low and then everybody picks you back up when you see the entire community and the Dayton strong feelings coming through. That was amazing.